Well, if you look at the first four, it's not relevant. I remember once I was studying in a high school class, and all the students had to read the Joy Luck Club. Well, what else to read the Joy Luck Club? All right. I'm not going to read this. This is what the video pointed out, that boys and girls, men and women are doing the same thing, but they're using different parts of their brain. And that girls are going to be better at memorizing, where boys are going to use the rules of language. Okay, boys are more inclined to read informational texts, magazines, and newspaper articles. The only time that I've ever read a novel, it was when I was required to in class. And so if we're going to read a novel, chances are a graphic novel and comic books. Boys tend to resist reading stories about girls, whereas girls do not tend to resist reading stories about boys. Boys like to read about hobbies, sports, and things they might do or be interested in doing. Boys like to collect things. All the women know that. Guys who like to collect stuff. Boys tend to enjoy escapism and humor. And some boys are passionate about science fiction or fantasy. And again, boys read less fiction than girls. Freedom of topic choice. Nerd balls. The reason for the nerd ball is because if he squeezes that ball while he's reading, he's less likely to zone out. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I get the boy a ball, he's going to throw it. No, just tell him what it's for. Acting in drama. This is great, because now guys get to move and show their feelings. Movement and kinesthetic learning, single-sex settings. I don't think single-sex is the be-all and end-all, but I think it's worth trying. But I would say with a caveat, if you're going to do single-sex classes, they should be voluntary as far as the students and the parents. And you would need to have your staff trained about these biological and neurological differences. That's what our research is showing is if the staff isn't trained, these single-sex schools are failing. So a lot of teachers will say, well, brainstorm before you write something. Well, what I would do is have them draw if they want to draw. Boys like to draw. So we brainstorm by drawing. Teams and competition. Cooperative learning has really become all the rage in schools. And my experience is that when you do cooperative learning, the boys let the girls do the work. So, if you're going to do cooperative learning, make it competitive, where the groups compete against each other. Abstract language, phonics, and manipulatives. You can all read that. Boys need books that cover how things work, about things they can take apart, put together, measure and figure out, and with lots of pictures of how things grow, about heroes, and then promote creativity and questioning. Fiction books, which match his image of himself, that are fun, make him laugh, and appeal to a sense of mayhem, as well as to a sense of justice. You can all read this stuff. With the coolest, the gross, and the disgusting. This is from a librarian saying, don't worry about the gross and the coolest stuff. He'll grow out of it. The main thing is he's reading. I know that there's some librarians in the house tonight. So, what can librarians do? Plan programs aimed just at boys. Do book talks in the classroom that include a lot of nonfiction. Buy American Library Association read posters that feature men. Encourage coaches of boys' sports teams to participate in a guys' read program, such as having athletes read to younger children. If I was the principal of an elementary school, I'd have to take your dad to school day. Increase the number of periodicals, magazines, comic books, and newspapers in the library. Recruit boys to work in the library. Survey boys about what they want to read. And buy those books. Put books where the boys are, next to the computers, copy machines, and study tables. What can families do? Model. Meet together. Look up information together. Take books on trips. Read your son 5 minutes per night, 3 nights per week. Begin sharing books early. Encourage your son to talk about books. Limit TV time. Surround your son with books. Model. Give him a notebook that's unlined. Suggest he use the notebook to collect stuff. But for easy, low-pressure occasions when he may like to read and write, show interest. Don't always correct his spelling or make negative comments about his lousy penmanship. Form a father-son book club. Work with your son's teacher in school. Speaking of fathers, these next 2 slides are from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Children with involved caring fathers have better educational outcomes, with higher IQs, as well as better linguistic and cognitive capacities. And once the kids are in adolescence and adulthood, they're going to have better verbal skills, intellectual functioning, and academic achievement. So we've been talking a little bit about nurturing. And Michael Gurman, my favorite writer on boy issues, he has a term, aggression nurturance, empathy nurturance. And he gives this example where he's watching the kids play outside in this cul-de-sac, and they're playing hockey on skates, on rollerblades. A boy falls down. First kid up to him is a girl. Girl says, "Are you okay? And a boy comes up. He looks at the kid, ascertains, okay, he got a scratch. Hey man, you alright? Can I give you a hand up? Both equally valid forms of nurturance. Horseplay. There's a lot of work on that slide. Basically, horseplay is kids actually develop skills from horseplay. How many people, where your son goes to school, is tag banned? Where? What school? Pardon me? You're shy.
There's no
Elementary school.
At the elementary schools, it's like no running, you're gonna fall and get hurt. Yeah.
So this is not good. This is not good. All right, how do boys experience feelings and emotions? The action release method. You know, guys love to do this. They see somebody with their back to them, so they sneak up to them and fight it. I did that to a neighbor boy. His mother got mad at me. I said, it's a guy thing. All right. Physical expression method. You know, they sometimes, want to hit a pillow or something. We go into the cave method. Remember how the soundbite from Dr. Bressadine, how women have an 8-lane superhighway and boys or guys have that one-lane country road. Well, sometimes the guys need time to think it through. Their brains are not moving as fast. So we're going to go into the kid, let them take a walk. Talking about feelings method. And I was having lunch with her mother. And she said, you know what I do when I want my son to talk to me? I say, let's go for a run. So we go for a run. So we're doing an activity. And then midway through the run, hey, how was your day today? Problem solving. You know, again, men don't ask for directions. Well, that's because a lot of men are problem solvers. It's their brains. The crying method. Boys will not cry on cue. They actually, the hormone that produces tears, females have a lot more of it than males. So again, do an activity with their boy, and then maybe those tears will come out. Okay, so what kind of messages are we sending our kids? Well, we can tell girls that they can do anything a boy can. And that's great. We even have a term for them. You go girl. What about boys? This is a very hot-selling poster. Coffee mug, calendar. I've seen this in art galleries. Kathy's got 3 of them. We're not too concerned about college. Dale and I are pretty sure he's going to the prison. This is an ad for scholarships. In case you were this guy. There's another one. Get an MBA, kick your bum out. You would never see an ad the other way around. This is a JCPenney ad. So let's make fun of G. He has a short attention span and he's fidgety. Let's see, he's a problem solver. He doesn't like to ask for direction. He doesn't hear very well. Those are just natural differences. Okay, so girls have power. And it rules. Well, who does it rule over? We need to move away from this. You do not have to bring one gender down to bring the other up. Notice the white boys in the background there? This is not productive. This is not progressive. Okay, so what this poll shows is that parents and teachers have higher academic expectations for girls than they do for boys, and that all races. So, we're number 1. Feed the industrialized world per capita in fatherlessness. 85% of the world's rigor is consumed in the U.S. today. And the USA incarcerates more people per capita than any other industrialized country. So I want to close by reading a quote from Michael Gurdon. As we delve deeply into who a man or a boy is, I believe we are participating in one of the great acts of civilization. We are each doing something incremental to help shape men, and they represent our strengths and weaknesses as humans. Men are prepared to carry nearly any burden. Boys are already trying to carry nearly any burden we give them if they can just get some sense of their inherent worth. Thank you for your attention.